Planning to tie the knot in Minnesota? Here's everything you need to legally seal the deal. Welcome to this complete explainer. Today, we're going to walk you through exactly how to navigate the marriage license process in the North Star State from start to finish. Whether you've lived here your whole life or you're just planning a gorgeous destination wedding, we've totally got you covered.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, an introduction. Then, eligibility and documents, where and how to apply, fees and discounts, timelines and validity, and finally, post-ceremony steps.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Introduction, the necessity of a license. Okay, so before the flowers, the venue, or the perfect dress, you really have to satisfy state legalities. Securing a marriage license is that non-negotiable, very first legal step to recognizing your partnership in Minnesota. It's the piece of paper that literally transforms your celebration into a legally binding union.
Moving right along to Section 2, Eligibility and Documents, Preparing for the Application. First up, let's talk eligibility. To get married in Minnesota, both of you must be at least 18 years old. Now, this is a very strict rule. Prior to 2020, minors as young as 16 could marry with parental consent, but Minnesota law now prohibits child marriage outright. Also, you obviously cannot have any current legally binding marriages. If you're married to someone else right now, you can't apply. And finally, the state prohibits marriages between certain close blood relatives. This includes siblings, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, and first cousins. And honestly, it doesn't matter if that relationship is by half-blood, whole blood, or even created by adoption.
Once you know you're eligible, it's time to gather your documents. And hey, bureaucracy demands precision, right? You'll need current, government-issued photo IDs. This can be a driver's license from any U.S. state, a passport, or a tribal identification card. You also got to provide your social security numbers. Now, here is a little detail that actually trips up a lot of couples. If either of you were married before, you need the exact information about how that marriage ended. You've got to provide the date, city, state, and county of the termination. If it was a divorce, you need to know the type of court that granted it. Plus, some counties will ask to physically see the certified divorce decree or death certificate, so definitely have those handy.
Now for Section 3, Where and How to Apply, Executing the Process.
The standard process across the state basically breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, jump online and start your pre-application through the Minnesota Official Marriage System, which is cleverly known as MOMS. Second, both of you usually need to visit a county office in person within a certain time frame to finalize the application and show your IDs. Finally, you pay your fee, and in most cases, you walk right out with your license. And a really cool note here, you can apply in literally any Minnesota county, regardless of where you actually live. You don't even need to be a Minnesota resident.
But here's where things get kind of interesting, because the actual execution varies wildly from county to county. For instance, Hennepin County offers fully remote mail-in options if you can't make it in person, though they do require notarized signatures. Clay County? They're walk-in only, and they hold your online pre-application for 90 days. Wright County strictly requires an appointment during business hours. Meanwhile, Rice County gladly takes walk-ins and even accepts mobile pay like Apple Pay, but they strictly ban any direct mail requests. So definitely check your specific county's website before you head out the door.
Let's talk money in Section 4, Fees and Discounts, the financials. When you get to the counter, you're going to face a choice between 2 fees. The standard application fee for a marriage license in Minnesota is $125. But the state actually offers a massive discount that slashes that fee down to just $50 if you put in a little educational work beforehand.
So how exactly do you unlock that $50 rate? Well, you and your partner have to complete at least 12 hours of premarital education. This has to include a premarital inventory and teaching things like communication and conflict management skills. It also needs to be led by an authorized person, like a licensed minister or a marriage and family therapist. Once you're done, you get a specific educator's statement on official letterhead that must be signed, dated, and notarized. But here is the absolute most critical part. You must present this document right when you apply for your license. You can't just pay the $125 and try to bring the form back later for a refund. As we all know, local governments aren't exactly famous for handing out refunds once the check clears.
Moving on to Section 5, Timelines and Validity, Watching the Clock. This is a crucial takeaway. Since 2016, Minnesota has had a 0-day waiting period. That means the absolute second the clerk hands you that license, it is active. You could literally walk out of the office and go get married that exact same afternoon. But the clock starts ticking immediately. Your license is valid for exactly 6 months. If you don't have your ceremony within that 6-month window, the license completely expires and becomes void. No refunds. You'd have to start the whole process over and pay the fee all over again.
Now for Section 6, Special Considerations, Navigating Nuances.
This is a big one. As of August 2023, if you have a felony conviction under Minnesota law or any other state or federal jurisdiction, you cannot use the marriage license to legally change your name. Instead, you have to apply for a legal name change separately through the district court in your county. The silver lining here? If you're a Minnesota resident, the court will actually process this at no charge, as long as you file within 180 days after your marriage and bring a certified copy of your marriage certificate.
There are a couple of other unique situations to keep in mind. Like we mentioned earlier, out-of-state residents are totally welcome to apply for a Minnesota license. However, the ceremony itself must physically take place within Minnesota's geographical borders. You can't take a Minnesota license and get married over in Wisconsin, for example. Also, watch out for specific county rules regarding past marriages. In Polk County, if your previous marriage ended in divorce within the last 6 months, they strictly require a physical inspection of your certified divorce decree before they'll issue a new license.
Almost there. Section 7, Post-Ceremony Steps, the Finish Line.
After you say I do, your officiant, who needs to be at least 21 and authorized by the state, has one job that's arguably way more important than posing for pictures. They must sign and promptly file the executed license back with the exact county office that issued it. Once the county receives it, they record your marriage in the state's vital records system. This officially generates your marriage certificate. Keep in mind you usually don't just get a certified copy automatically in the mail. You'll need to order them from the county for about $9 each.
And trust me, you are going to want a few of those $9 copies. You'll need them to prove your legal name change or new marital status everywhere. The Minnesota Judicial Branch recommends immediately updating your employer, school records, bank accounts, utilities, and all your insurance policies. Don't forget to contact the tax agencies, and of course, you'll need it for your driver's license and passport.
As we wrap up this explainer, I need to leave you with a quick but very important disclaimer. Because legal protocols, county procedures, and state laws are always evolving, you should absolutely consult official Minnesota state resources or a legal professional. Verifying current rules, exact fees, and required forms before you head down to the county office is the absolute best way to ensure a smooth, stress-free experience.
Getting married is such an incredible milestone, and handling the legal paperwork definitely shouldn't take away from the joy of it all. Bureaucracy might not be romantic, but getting it right ensures your happily ever after is legally sound from day one. So now that you hold the exact roadmap to navigating the North Star State's marriage process, are you ready to jump online and take that exciting first step today?